Hi, I'm Todd Orchide, CEO of GTL Real Estate. This is the second in a series of videos that discusses your lease agreement, paragraph by paragraph, in an effort to help you better understand your lease. This video will go over the second page of your lease. The first thing you'll see on this page is the paragraph dealing with late payments. Rent is always late if it hasn't been paid by the end of the day on the second of the month. Please note that this date does not change due to holidays or weekends, as we take payments 24/7 through our online resident portal. Rent is always due on the first and late if not paid by the second. If that happens, you'll get a late fee that's equal to 10% of your monthly rent amount. If your rent is still unpaid on the fourth of the month, we send out what's called a 3-day notice to pay or quit, which basically just means that we're telling you that you need to pay your rent or vacate the property within 3 days. When that notice is sent, an additional fee is charged, and the amount of that fee is listed here in your lease. Finally, this paragraph says that if we have to go out to the property to pick up a rent payment from you, there is an additional charge for that, and that's listed in your lease. We generally don't do this even if requested unless there's some sort of special circumstance involved. The next paragraph goes on to talk about what happens if the rent still isn't paid after the 3-day notice period is over. It says that on the 8th of the month, we will be forced to file a dispossessory action in court. Dispossessory is just a fancy legal term that means eviction. The lease says that if we have to do this, you'll be responsible for paying the court costs and the attorney's fees, and the amount for that is listed here in your lease. It goes on to say that if you are removed from the property by the court, then we have the ability to collect what you owe by wage and bank account garnishment. In other words, you do not want to get to this point. It can get really expensive and really unpleasant. Please pay your rent on time and avoid all these issues. Next, the lease talks about security deposits. It lists the amount of your security deposit and tells you who is holding it. In almost all cases, our company name will be listed here as holding the deposit. We generally do not allow the landlord to hold the deposit himself. This policy provides you better protection, as we are required by law to hold the deposit in a state-registered trust account when we're the ones holding your deposit. So money is safe and sound, and you don't have to worry about the landlord spending it. The lease goes on to talk about any interest earned on the deposit. In Georgia, this section says that the interest goes to us. In Florida, it says that there will not be any interest earned. In reality, we don't actually earn interest on money in either state, but the standard language is just a bit different in the contract on that. Next, the lease talks about how to get your security deposit back at the end of your lease. Basically, in order to get your deposit back, you need to serve out the full term of your lease agreement and not skip out early. You need to give 2 full calendar months notice that you won't be renewing. There can't be any damage done to the property that wasn't already there listed on the move-in inspection. The property must be clean and free of trash and debris. All rent and other amounts must have been paid in full, and all keys, garage door openers, and other access devices must be returned. If you comply with these items, your security deposit will be returned within 30 days of you moving out on the last day of your lease. Next, the lease talks about deducting things from your security deposit. This paragraph gives us the right to use your security deposit to pay for any damage that you've done to the property, any rent or other amounts that you didn't pay before moving out, any cleaning that needs to be done, and removal of any trash or personal property that you left behind, and the cost of rekeying the property if you did not turn in all of your keys and access devices. Finally, if there are any deductions necessary from your security deposit, there is a $100 security deposit coordination fee to cover our costs in arranging for repairs, cleaning, and anything else that needs to be done. If there's nothing deducted from your security deposit, though, then you will not owe this $100 fee, and you'll just get your entire security deposit back. The last thing on this page talks about your move-out statement. After we determine if there is anything to be deducted from your security deposit, we prepare a final statement that lists anything you were charged for, and we send that to you both by mail and email. Now, there are some differences here depending upon which state you're in. For those of you renting from us in Georgia, your lease says that we will prepare the move-out statement within 3 days of the termination of your lease. You then have the right to inspect the property yourself within 5 days if you disagree with anything on the statement. If you do disagree with anything, you have 3 banking days to submit a formal dispute in writing. We provide a form that you can use to submit this dispute to make it very easy. For those of you in Florida, it works just a little bit different. Florida law allows us up to 30 days to send you the final move-out statement. After that, you have 15 days to submit any disputes in writing. Again, we do provide an online form to make it easy for you to do this. Please note that you must provide us a forwarding address to send your security deposit upon move-out. If you don't and we're unable to find you, then you'll lose your security deposit. So it's very important to let us know your forwarding address when you move out. That's it for this video. Next video, we'll talk a bit more about security deposits and cover everything else that's on page 3 of your lease. If you have any questions about the items covered in this video, or anything else for that matter, please send us an email at support@gtlrealestate.com.